Where I would begin if I were you is to start with these books right here. The Functional Art and the Truthful Art by Alberto Kiro. These two books together create a universe of understanding that is tool agnostic. It doesn't matter what new tools come out, what big advances come out. What you learn about how to think and how to be critical and how to investigate your data, how to think about data, how charts work, how your brain reads charts, how viewers understand story, how to find story, and how to tell honest, excellent stories with your data visualizations is all contained here in these two books. These are two of the most important books of data visualization that I ever read, and they're the ones I recommend to everyone. Then you got to pick a tool. You know what? I don't care which one. So you could Tableau, Power BI, Python, R, D3, Excel, whatever. Pick one of those and focus in on that one. Start experimenting with concepts that you learned in those books. Try to find a data set and make a chart. But the idea here is focus in on one of these tools and use that as your playground to start experimenting. If you don't know which one to choose, I picked one for you. Just use ggplot inside of R. Okay, so download R, get the ggplot2 package, and start visiting. There's tons of YouTube videos and resources out there to learn ggplot2. And so there you go. Now you got a tool, ggplot. Now you got to find data. Okay, you can find there's data everywhere. So go to Tidy Tuesday or go to Data is Plural or any public data set. Links to all of these are in the description below. But if you feel overwhelmed even there and you don't know where to start, I picked one for you. Use the Baltimore trash wheel data set inside of Tidy Tuesday. The link is down below. You can go download it and start exploring that data set yourself in the tool of your choice. So now you know you've got ggplot2 and a data set. And you've read two excellent books to get your mind going. We'll even go a step further. Here's your first assignment. I want you to take this chart that I've made right here and make it yourself in the tool of your choice. So if you picked a ggplot2, load up the data set in R, visualize it. See if you can recreate this chart that I have right here. But there's a part 2 to this assignment. Okay? This chart is accurate and it's visualizing the data that's in that data set, but it's got a bunch of problems. Can you make a better version of this chart? Is there a different title you would give it? Is there a different view of the data that's there that might tell a more compelling story or a more interesting story or potentially a more honest story? What questions might I not have asked yet about the data in this chart? If you can answer it, make a chart and put it in the comments below and I'll take a look. Now let's quickly talk about the reality of AI, okay? Because that's where we are right now. We've got ChatGPT, Claude, Cursor, and Kiro, and all of these pretty much remove the barrier to entry to any code-based visualization library. But there's a truth that I want to acknowledge here with all of you, and that is, if AI writes your D3 code, D3 is not your tool. The AI tool is. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but keep in mind that as you get better at making charts in Python or D3 or R using one of those AI coding tools, you're building your muscle memory and your skills in that AI coding tool. You're not necessarily getting any better at D3 or R or ggplot. Again, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. I think that's the direction that this sort of work is going. But keep that in mind. If you're really interested in understanding the inner workings of something like D3 or R or Python or Tableau, calculated fields, try to limit your AI use to when you're really stuck or something like that. Otherwise, you're not going to build that muscle memory in that code and get better at it. But again, that's up to you. But when you're using AI, you become less of a developer and more like an art director or a data strategist or a storyteller. The code problems you have to solve are no longer an issue. And so you can focus on telling a better story, designing that chart exactly how you want. It saves an incredible amount of time, but just remember that you might make a really beautiful chart and not necessarily understand how it was built. Again, I don't think that's all that bad of a thing, but keep that in mind. Now get started. You've got 2 great books to start reading right now, so check them out and go read them. Then pick up R and ggplot or whichever tool you chose and try to recreate that chart from the video. Everything you need is in the description below if you'd like to get started. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And good luck.